Tennessee, where freedom is alive. And shots ring from the woods. Take on 45. Life is good. Shoots more ammo than he probably should. There's comments here and there in the land. Life is good. He's always shooting down in the woods. If you wouldn't leave me living if he could. Life is good.
Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion. Definitely your companion. Coming to you from Tennessee, the barren hills of Tennessee, the home of Alvin York, Dolly Parton, Jeff Quinn, and lots of people, lots of cool people, and a few lowlifes, right, in every state. So glad you're here. Another Sunday, another winter Sunday, January Sunday. And we're all still alive, I guess, if you're watching and I'm talking. Right? Wherever you are, I guess you're probably alive. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Hey, it just came to me. Maybe there are some viewers who are not of the living. I guess they don't count as views, but they have a difficult time clicking and liking and all that kind of thing, subscribing. So maybe they're not counted. But maybe, did you ever think about it? There could be a lot of zombies watching. Yeah, they're probably mad because have I killed zombies? Can you kill a zombie? I guess you can finish a zombie, right? Sort of. But anyway, who knows? And who knows what I'll talk about. Disclaimer, this is a Sunday morning shoot-around video. Talking and shooting, probably more talking, even more than you can stand, right? Yeah, if you're new or if you're old. Yeah, who knows what you are? You know what you are. So anyway, yeah, it's good to see you here and have you here when I shoot the good old 40. Yeah, you know, we did the Armed 1994, yeah, and recently posted it and brought out the 40. It was the other 40. I have the older one. This is a Gen 4. Yeah, I don't know when the last time I fired. You saw the first shots. This is like a new gun. Those are the first shots with this Gen 4. And I don't know when, years, many years. And so I thought, you know, I'm kind of in the mood to shoot the 40 some more because it was nice getting it out, reacquainting myself with it because it is a good cartridge. It's a great cartridge, right? I don't care what anybody says. And yeah, so I wanted to remind myself remind myself what it is, how it feels, how it shoots, and whether or not I really do still like it a lot. You know, I don't know, just need to shoot it more. This whole thing is gathering cobwebs, old thing. Gosh, I remember when this was, well, I remember not just when Gen 4s came out, I remember when of course the Glock 23 came out in 1990, and it was a big deal and everything. Seems like yesterday. Yeah, I was trying to find ammo. There was only one brand, and you had to buy it in those little boxes like this, 20 at a time and everything, shooting matches with it. It was interesting times back in 1990. So glad you're here. I just got my Glock out. I was in the mood to shoot it, and weather's not too bad, and it just seemed like the right thing to do. I know when you saw the thumbnail, you thought, oh my gosh, that looks like a Glock. Please tell me it's not. Well, you folks who follow me and have followed us for a good while, you know, yeah, I'm famous. Well, I'm not famous. I'm famous for being a Glock guy. What I mean, I'm known to be a Glock guy amongst my friends and everybody, not on the internet necessarily, but yes, too, on the internet, I guess. But in recent years, when I say recent, 5, 6, 8, 7, 10, I don't know, I have really branched out. I really have. I have discovered, like many of you, some wonderful firearms out there that have come along the pike, whether it's a PPQ or the SIG P320, the SIG P3 235, 365. Man, get my brain back. 365. You know, there's just some great 9mm out there. I still like the Berettas and you know, just lots of good modern, and most of them are polymer, you know, pistols. But it's not great. They're not great because they're polymer. They're great because they're so reliable. Like this thing, you know, when it came out. You know, so it is interesting. People, you know, well, Glock hadn't innovated, and they haven't innovated, and all that kind of thing. And I just kind of laugh at that. I don't really want them to innovate. Just the Glock is a Glock, man. Just keep it like it is. It's great. It's always a standby. You know, try your SIGs, try your others like I do, and I carry the others, and I use the others probably more than Glocks these days. But anytime I want to come back to a Glock or buy another Glock, I know what I'm getting. You know, it's like, you might have tried a lot of different vehicles, but you know, you just, I think I'm gonna go back to a Ford F-150. I know what I'm gonna get or something. You know, you just know it's gonna work, it's reliable, and you're tired of branching out and trying new things. but they all work. That's what's so silly. Humans are just insane, aren't we? We just argue about the silliest things, calibers and firearms, and it's a kind of a first world problem. We don't have enough problems. We don't have enough issues to really worry about. That's a lot of it, right? And that's for certain a lot of the craziness that's gone on in the last few years. We don't have enough work to do just to survive. Go back 100 years, 150, 200 years. People spent their days, you know, many people, most people probably, just making sure they could survive and get food for the family and everything. And the further back you go, the more important that was for the majority of the populations. And you know, all the silly things that we argue about, and you know, social media and Twitter sphere and everything. You know, just that was just the contrast there is staggering, between the way people lived in 1850 and the way we live today, and the things we argue about, fuss about, and feel good about. Virtue signal about. We just got to feel good about ourselves, right? I got the best gun, right? I've got the best politician. I'm the best everything. You know, my choices are always correct. Yours are stupid, you know, and all that sort of thing. But anyway, it extends to firearms, of course, you know, and anything else. And some are better than others in some ways. I should never use that word better. Whenever I see it, and someone asks me on Facebook or on, you know, comment, you know, which is better? You know, what do you think is better, Hickok? Yeah, we almost ought to outlaw the word better, right? Well, I mean, what's the word better mean? What's the word worse mean? You know, unless you're talking about something that you can quantify, like this car gets worse gas mileage than that one or something. Then it makes sense, right? Or this was a worse snowfall than the one we had last week or something, or a worse freeze. You know, I mean, you can quantify that. But for a firearm or a car, generally, unless you're just talking about reliability or something that you can quantify, you know, which is better? I mean, man, a firearm is so personal in so many ways. It's made to grip with your hand. Look at those sights with your eyeballs and all that kind of thing, and the weight that you want, you know, how it shoots and the recoil and the trigger and all that. It's such a specific thing to your, I don't know, feel, personality, preferences, you know, biases and all that. So better, I don't know. What's that word mean when you're talking about firearms? Now, if you want to get specific, then we can talk about it. Which is more reliable when it's dirty? I don't know. And that's kind of opinion, subjective, right? A lot of people would have different experiences with that firearm. Which is more accurate? Same deal. What do you mean by accurate? Don't even use that word unless you define it. Are you talking about inherent accuracy, like if I took this gun and another one or two and put them in a vise and just let them fire, somehow like a ransom rest? How are they going to group? You know, which one's going to group more consistently, or you know, shoot a tighter group at 50 yards or 20 yards or whatever? Okay, you're talking about that accuracy. Yeah, we can test that. We can quantify that pretty well. It may be different with different ammo, but we can quantify that, more or less. But most people don't mean that, because most of us shoot a pistol, a handgun like this, defensive handgun especially, standing. It's a defensive gun. We're going to load the thing and shoot it, just like this. Now, don't let me lose track of what I'm talking about, but we're going to load her up and shoot it. Now, try to hit the bullseye. Boom. There's that cowboy. Right between those other two targets. Woo-hoo! Get that gong again. There we go. About a pin. So, I didn't lose track. I'm a genius. Yeah, so if we're talking about just picking up and shooting it, which is more accurate, well, there you go. I don't know. You might shoot it better than I do. I might shoot it better than you. I don't know. But as far, and it doesn't have a lot to do. Not a lot to do. It has something to do, but not a lot to do with the inherent accuracy. How it would shoot in that ransom rest I was talking about, locked in, because none of us can hold that still, right? 99.9% of us, maybe an Olympic shooter could, but yeah, with us it's just how it feels, the trigger and everything. Right? You could take I don't know, another pistol, whatever it is, and let's say it's really not as inherently accurate. Okay, now I've explained what inherently accurate means, right? Mechanically accurate, there are different terms for it. Put it in a rest and a ransom rest and a vice, and that kind of accuracy. What's it capable of? Okay, that's what I think that's correct. Inherent accuracy, built into the gun. Okay. You could take a firearm, a pistol, whatever, take a SIG, whatever it might be, and let's say the inherent accuracy of your gun is not as good as this one. It's literally not. Yours is better. No, I mean, this is better than yours, let's say, whatever it is. Smith & Wesson, whatever you got. This gun is more inherently accurate. It's just tighter, whatever it is, okay? It'll shoot, let's say, yours shoots twice as big a groups out of that vice or ransom rest, all right? But you and I could have a shooting match right here. Put this paper out there or shoot at plates or the gong, whatever we want to, and you're hitting targets I can't hit. I'm missing them more often than you are. And we shoot some paper out here. We try to shoot the best groups we can on that paper. And your group's much better than mine, with your gun. Why is that? Same old deal. Even if your gun is less inherently accurate than mine, it's only going to be by a smidgen. It's not going to be much, right? Not enough to matter, as I always say, for combat defensive firearm. And so that's way, way, way less relevant than how good your grip is and your trigger pull, your sights on target, all the things that make a good shooter. Okay, your trigger brake and all that. Okay, that's what's way more important. How steady you are, all that. How good you are. Now I say steady. Nobody's perfectly steady except that ransom rest, right? And so it really does come down to when those sights are on a target, you're being able to coordinate your brake, your trigger brake, boom, at the right moment. You might be moving around a fair amount, but you can still shoot a better group than I can because you can pull the trigger at the right time. Now I don't mean you're going like this and all that kind of stuff, but put your favorite firearm on a target across the room or somewhere in range. It's never perfectly steady, is it? You're trying to coordinate the brake of the trigger, with the sights at the right moment. That's what it comes down to. So, I know you didn't ask for all that, but you got it, didn't you? Yeah, you never know what I'll launch off on. This whole thing feels pretty good. It is snappier, I no doubt about it, and you feel it even more when it's chilly like this, or when you haven't fired it for a while. I tell you one thing that kept me from switching from 40 to 9 for a long time, and not that there's any need to do it, I just did it, and I've explained that before, how I was carrying more 9s, and I had Glock 19s and Glock 23 magazines, all look exactly alike, and I was getting concerned about mixing things up at the wrong time. and I was competing in the Glock matches some with 9, and you know, and I'm gonna put the 40 away for a while, you know, and went to 9, and I think I was loading a lot of 9. I kind of got away from hand loading 40, and I was loading a lot of 9, my favorite 147 grain ammo, you know, at the time, and all that. But not because I hated the 40 or didn't like it. I still think it's probably a better defensive round. Yeah, I mean, this gun, I would feel a little bit better armed with this pistol here, it's Glock 23, than my Glock 19. It is a Glock 19 essentially, 40, right? Glock 23. I would feel better armed, there's that word better, with this than a Glock 19, really, if I knew I was going to have to use it. Okay, and when I say better, what I mean is I've got a little more power, a little more punch. That's how I would define better in that sentence. Okay. Now, is it necessary? How necessary is it? You know, I don't know. We can argue that, right? Because handgun rounds they are so incredibly underpowered, all of them, compared with a rifle. You know, so you know they're all like a BB to a basketball in a way. We're talking about which BB is a little bit bigger or more effective, to some extent. But now 40 got more punch. I could feel it. And it was about to say there, if I didn't, one reason I was kind of slow in transitioning. I was actually, you know, you go back and forth with some things. I got to where I didn't want to go back and forth. That's part of the reason I went all to 9. In fact, that was a good part of it. I really haven't talked about that, but that was something very distinctive that I noticed. Because I was shooting 40 for a decade, more than a decade, all the time. That's what I carried and shot and everything, and competed with and everything. And I noticed that if I went to the Glock 19, which I always liked, and the Glock 26, great guns, but if I shot them a little bit, then when I went back to this gun, it really did seem to kick hard to me. But worse than that was, after shooting this a lot, when I go to the Glock 19, I literally didn't shoot it as well. I just, because it didn't jump as much, it just felt odd to me, and it was hard to get used to. And then when I go back, this would be different, you know. And I needed to go to 1 and stick with it, and that's what I did. And part of it was because I was shooting a lot of the Glock matches, GSSF matches, and I was trying to win subcompact class. You know, I'd come close like 2 or 3 years in a row, like in second place and third and all this, and just so close. And I got, because those matches, you have quite an array of people at the Glock. I guess they still do those GSSF matches, and a lot of the people in whatever the category, subcompact or full size, whatever they were, you might have, I don't know, if you have 50 people shooting in that class at one of those matches. Oh, I don't know, maybe 30 of them, or it's just, you know, amateur shooters. Well, we're all amateurs, but just people that you shoot occasionally and everything. And it's for the fun of doing it, shooting a Glock and going out, everybody shooting the same kind of gun. And talk about even Steven, because it's not only everybody shooting a Glock, but you're shooting in the same classification, subcompact or compact or whatever, you know, and all that. And so it's kind of fun, you know, families you see doing it. But then within that 50 people, there'd be maybe 10, you know, pretty good shooters, you know, shoot pretty much. And then there'd be another 10 maybe that shoot a lot. And they shoot a lot of USPSA and a lot of these matches, and they're just serious shooters, the same people you run into on the circuit at other USPSA matches, winning them or doing whatever they're doing, you know. And so that's not to brag, right? But that's who I was competing against in that upper echelon. And I was just trying to come out in first place. I just wanted to do it because been a Glock guy for a long time. It was a gun I carried and everything. I said, I shoot this thing pretty well, this Glock 26. I should be able to ease myself into first place, you know, if I have a good match. So I finally did, you know, 2001 or something like that up in Lexington. And then that might have been the last one I shot in. I don't know. I shot in several, and then I finally achieved my objective. And then I don't know. Maybe I shot in one more. I don't know. But anyway, Okay, almost forgot where I was. So I was really competing and trying to, to win that class with that and everything. So I was just shooting a lot of 9mm. So I just went over to it, kind of what I did. But I tell you what, I still like the 40. That's my little diatribe on that. And let me put another mag in here and take a shot. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put this. I got some better. No, these are not them. Here they are. Yeah, these are personal. It helps us out. Talon grips, which I have on this gun. You might notice. Yep, the rubberized version, the old Gen 4. And in fact, I think I have 2 layers on that from the old days. Yeah, I got maybe the sandpaper on the bottom and the rubber on top. That gun feels good to me though. And then ballistol, I just put some on the slide before you got here. I had it out here. Like I said, I literally hadn't fired it. And I thought, well, maybe I better take that slide off, put a little oil on it. Some people would love to see me have a Glock malfunction. It could happen, right? But generally they don't. Man, they shoot dry. They shoot every way you can imagine. But I literally haven't had it in my hand in so long. I thought, and it did seem dry, but I put a little on that. It would have worked fine either way. So, I'm sure. So anyway, I got some of those Holler Point personal defense rounds in this it's just a 22 round mag, I think. I'm gonna take a couple of those shots. Make sure that magazine works. All right. I generally prefer heavier bullets, 180 grain. Let's shoot the SDI badge there. Oh man, look at the accuracy. Wow, what was I telling you there? Let's shoot the ballistol. Whoa, right on it. Talon grips, right on it. Tell you what, let's shoot those are up kind of high. I won't shoot that high. All right, let's see what these Holler points will do to a 2-liter. All right, here's another one. Boom. Let's see what they'll do to the gong. All right, I don't think they heard it. Oh, you notice the slide didn't stay back? New shooters? Somebody explain that? Yeah, you saw me take the mag out, that's why. That's why it didn't come out and it didn't even eject. That's what happens when you pull the slide out, see? All right. Or the slide, the magazine, what I meant. I don't know my gun parts yet. I'm still learning. Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all? And as I've talked about many times, that's one of the cool things about this hobby. I call it a hobby a lot of times. It's lots of things, and it's supporting our Second Amendment. It's being prepared defensively, for any eventuality, all those sorts of things. But then again, it's also a hobby, and the gigantic part of it, I guess kind of like an iceberg for me, and it varies from some people. Some people, their entire focus might be just self-defense, and they're training every weekend, and it's just they train other people, and they're only interested in very tactical firearms. So that's the gigantic part for them. It's also kind of a hobby for them too, I'm sure. But for a lot of people, the hobby, like the iceberg, the large part underneath, that's the hobby is huge. It's so big. There's so many interesting firearms out there, and that. Yeah, I plead guilty to that, of course, so yeah, there's a lot of different aspects to the hobby, to the endeavor, the shooting sports, the shooting endeavor, the firearms collecting, and just all of that. So, and I enjoy it all. Yeah, I love a firearm like this, and just like a flintlock. Yep, can't help it. A little insane. Anything else you want to know about? Nothing I know, right? Well, have you broken all your resolutions yet? No, I'll quit talking about that. Maybe we'll bring it up in 6 months, see how you're doing. I mean, it's only been a week. Hopefully you haven't broken some of your more serious resolutions. Hopefully you've taken some baby steps along that way, and made it easier on yourself. Think about it. That really is a good philosophy. I mean, or one approach that works for a lot of people. Think about, say you're trying to eat less. What if you, it's kind of like that old deal where if you just tried to save a penny and double it every day, before you know it, you got real money, right? Doubling it every day. Do the math on that one, but it's not quite that good with maybe diet. But what if you ate one less bite a day? You cut down one bite. Now, that'd be that's for those who are really obsessive, compulsive, and you count the bites every day that you eat. But if you ate one less bite tomorrow, and then 2 less bites the next day, or something you could handle, or maybe 1 less bite for a whole week, and then you add another, and 2 less bites after that. I don't know. But eventually you'd make some progress. But now again, one thing many of us have learned now in recent years is it's not necessarily, wow, motorcycles out, trucks, no mufflers. I'm going to start a muffler business. I don't think I sell anything in my county. But it's not so much how much you eat. Yeah, it's what you eat. It's what you eat. And that's what, Dr. Ken Berry, talks about a lot, to eat, if you're eating, real human food, and he's almost a carnivore. I think he is right now, but he's keto, and then he's gone carnivore pretty much exclusively. But, he says over and over to eat until you're comfortably stuffed. Yeah. And, that's fine. You're hungry, but just eat the right things. Yeah. Eat the burger, or the steak, or the eggs, and all that kind of thing, the bacon, and just eat till you're full, and you'll lose weight. I mean, if you need to lose weight, what you'll do is you will assume the correct weight for you, right? And so it's not just a matter of eating fewer calories. Counting calories, we have learned, is not the thing. It is just eating good, healthy food that's really nutritious. And again, it's up to you. You study it. If you want to be a vegan, be a vegan. But there's just so much evidence against that now. And I kind of bought into that in the 70s and the 80s, and got on a track. I was never really vegan, but I got on that track of eating a lot of because I've always liked vegetables and grains and things. I don't know. I cut out the grains, like I said, totally. And rice. I love rice, like Chinese food, like all that kind of stuff. And thought it was really healthy for me. And oats, my gosh, I eat oats every morning, I think, for 3-4 years. Whew. Just knew that was one of the best things you could possibly eat. That's what they told me. Anyway, you study for yourself. I'm not I start to say I'm not a nutritionist. That's the problem. You can't trust the nutritionists, these days. You just gotta do some research. Look at all the alternatives, what people are talking about, and the research, what the biochemists are saying, and all of that. Ken Berry's a great place to start. Ben Bickman, figure it out. Okay, it's insulin is the big issue now. It's insulin more than all the others that are affecting us, apparently. So, you don't have to starve. You don't ever have to be hungry. Okay, I had 4 eggs and bacon this morning. I'm not hungry. I had several big pieces of fish for lunch. Just eat. I say correct foods, the right foods. That is subjective. You do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But anyway, so in a way, the reason I got off on all that again is you don't necessarily, the answer is not just cutting down on what you eat. It might be for you if you're just packing it away. But the thing is that Fort Campbell, that looks like a hospital helicopter. It's the thing that's so true that as you study it and from your own self, you can eat until you're comfortably stuffed and you're not really hungry. But somebody waves some ice cream, piece of pie or cake in front of you. Interesting how all of a sudden you're still hungry, right? It's the sugar. And so, but you're not really hungry, yeah, at all. And then you eat that, and then it kind of begets more of that. It gets the insulin and sugar up, and you want more. It's all that. So enough on that. Anything else you want to know about? Can I shoot this gun some more? Oh man. I don't know about John's comedy schedule. If he's anywhere he wants to announce, I'm not sure about that. I guess before I get out of here, I should come up with some advice for kids. Do I have anything for young people? I said kids, right? I don't know. I'll tell you what, here's some advice. Just be aware. Think about yourself. Try to be self-aware. Some people are just not. And now none of us can objectively do it really well, but get outside ourselves and look at ourselves and ask ourselves, okay, what am I doing that's stupid? What should I be doing that I'm not doing, or vice versa? Let me think about this. Am I on the right track? And all that kind of thing. Are the things that I just know, things that I just know are true, are they really true? Yeah, because man, I think about myself, things that I just knew were true. Back to my buddy Mark. Gunfire. I live in a great neighborhood. Old Mark Twain. It's not what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that ain't so. Right? Something like that. It's what you just know for sure that ain't so. And I was looking at a video, what was it? It might have been a shooting the breeze before I even started doing the Sunday videos. And one of the shoots, because someone made a comment about it. I saw, oh wow, what's that? Oh wow, and see, maybe someone's still watching that. And it was something that they asked me about or said that made me go back, open it up, and go back and look at that video, what I was talking about. And it was about, I don't know, 2-3 years old. I had to be over 3 years old, I guess. And I was talking about losing weight. It was maybe it was a year after my surgery or whatever. I was talking about how I was losing weight and how I was doing it. And I wasn't eating after 2 o'clock, and I was eating fewer potato chips or something. And as I was talking about that, I was watching that. I thought, okay, gosh, yeah, that's back when I was, lost some weight. But I didn't know what I know now. And I didn't know what I didn't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't know what I did not know at that time. And my approach was not exactly correct. I wasn't really getting healthier. I was losing some weight, but I wasn't really getting healthier. So anyways, it's interesting to look back at yourself. So my point there is, youngsters, anybody, think about it in 5 years, and you're going to look back and go, okay, how dumb was I, or how unaware was I, or how ignorant was I about something that might be kind of important right now? I don't know, something I'm doing financially, or something about my diet, something about anything. What am I not doing right now that I should be doing that in 5 years I wish I had been, 10 years especially, or whatever. So just something to think about. I apologize for trying to make you think, because if it hurts your head like it hurts mine when I try to think, I'm abusing you, right? All right. Speaking of abuse, let's abuse that old cowboy. I'm enjoying shooting right between that bowling pin and that 2-liter. I'm pretending they're hostages. Let's pretend the pig over there is a hostage, or the buffalo. No, let's don't. Let's shoot it. Got him. Oh man, that thing is a nice trigger. Nice break. See? Oops. That's why I'm kind of hard on some pistols that have a mushy trigger. I don't know, and a lot of the Glocks are like that. It's kind of random, but this one, You got a nice strong spring on the take-up, gets to a wall, and it's just a nice wall, very crisp break. And I have a couple of Glock 19s with that exact trigger, and I mean, it's just stock. I've never understood why one Glock, even the same generation, same caliber, everything, can have a mushy trigger, a lot of creep, doesn't have a distinct wall, very nice wall, or anything. And then the next one you pick up will. I don't know how that happens exactly, but and I've tried to fix them, you know, put in different springs and things. Supposedly you can do that. And I've never had a lot of luck doing that. I've actually traded some off just because of the trigger, and because I found another one had a better trigger, you know. And it's not like they deteriorate. So I've had this a long time. It's always had a good trigger. I've got some 19s like that. Several Glocks I have great triggers like that. My 41, all of my Glock 43s, 43X have a trigger like this for some reason. Certain models, I remember back when I got my first Glock 30, well, maybe the only one I ever had, and that was, I don't know what year those came out, but most of the Glocks up to then were mushy, you know, and the trigger, and that one had a crisp trigger. It was like, wow, are we sure this is a Glock? So that showed me that Glock could do it. It seemed to be, I don't know what it is about it. You may know more if you're a Glock armor, more knowledgeable about it. It seems, if there's a generalization that I've noticed with Glocks, it's the compacts and the smaller Glocks are more likely to have a nice crisp trigger. I noticed that from long ago, you know. It's not always the case, but for some reason, I don't know what that would have to do with it, because that Glock 30 was pretty nice. It's a big, heavy gun, you know, it's a chunk, but it's a, compact, you know, smaller like this. So anyway, whatever that means. So the old Glock 40, I like it. I tell you, I know in one video I said, or maybe it was a Sunday or whenever, if I have no problem with Glock 19 or Glock 9 or any 9mm, of course. Handgun bullet's a handgun bullet, but it's that old deal. If I knew for sure that there were two bad guys coming through those trees after me in a few minutes, they were coming after me. They really wanted to get me for some reason. They wanted to end me for whatever reason, and all I can have is this Glock 19 or this Glock 23. You know, here you got a couple extra mags with either one. Which one you want? Pick it up. I'd pick up a 40. You know, not because it's 1,000% better or anything, but it was kind of a why not. It's got a little more punch, and these people are really after me. I'm going to have to stop them, I guess, somehow. So I'll take the 40 or the 45. You know, again, there's nothing sacred about the bigger bullets out of a handgun. So I'm not going to, get into all that, or I'm not going to argue that too vehemently. But something's got more power, more foot-pounds of energy. It's got more foot-pounds of energy. You can't ignore it, right? It may not make a gigantic difference, grant you that. So anyway, I don't know that I'm going back to the 40, but I just, just want to praise it a little bit. And again, remind everybody that I know the secret. I know the secret as to why a lot of people badmouth the 40. I think a lot of it is because they cannot handle the recoil of it. And so they are motivated to agree with almost everybody that the 9 is just as good. And it might be, but at least admit, you don't like the recoil. It's hard for you to shoot. Because I notice it just out here plinking around. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it. Let me feel it some more. Boom, that cowboy. Yeah, it jumps. Yes, it's snappy, as they say. Yeah, and so is that bullet when it hits something. So that's that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's pretty nice caliber, and it's interesting. I hear from, one advantage of doing something like this. Well, everybody's got access to all the internet, but I hear from a lot of people, and I see comments, and there are a lot of fans of the 40 still that like it. That they've not switched to 9. They still shooting this in 45 or whatever. But then again, most of the world's gone to 9, I guess. And it's a great cartridge, very reliable, and again, with the new bullet technology, and you're just shooting a handgun anyway. You're not going to knock that car off its wheels, because the difference in power or anything like that, one handgun to the other, and all that. But I like it just fine. So what should I tell you before I let you go? Anything? No, I'm not going to tell you anything else. I'm just going to shut up, make you get out of here. So we really appreciate your support. Again, just see you all through the winter, and we're in the dog days. Is there such a thing as the dog days of winter like there is in the summer? For some reason, January and February, I don't know. You spend so much time in the fall. It's beautiful, and then here comes Halloween. Like that's a big celebration. It's a big celebration for some people. But then you got Thanksgiving and Christmas to get ready for, and all that kind of thing. It does seem like January and February it's colder. Imagine that, most parts of the country, and barren. Just look around, and not a lot going on, maybe other than just your work, your job, or whatever you're doing. It's easy to get a little bit, not out in the sun as much, I guess. It's easy to get a little, not depressed, that word's overused, I guess, but to get down a little bit, or just, I don't know, it seems things are drab and boring and all that. But I used to be more like that, but since I got smarter, I'm not. Y'all believe anything, won't you? No, I don't know. I think in recent years, I remember, winter coming on. I think, oh man, I'm gonna get to another winter. I love being outside. It just, I still go outside, but I just hate to see it come, really. But I don't know. It gives you time to change gears. Maybe we all need, like the trees, maybe we need a dormant stage, and do other things, do some things indoors that you haven't been doing, or get some other things done, focus on other things. And some of you, if you're a property owner, you're probably often out working in the yard or something. You got a lot to do. In the winter, not so much maybe, and you get more good books read or something, whatever. But write that novel you've been meaning to write. But anyway, we'll make it through, and before you know it, really, because once March comes, it's going the other way for sure, right? You start seeing the windy days, a little warmer, and then you're moving on into April. And so it's really, for us, it's about 2 months that are sometimes, I say extremely cold and barren, but we have also some nice days. It's not too bad today, So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you go. Appreciate you coming out, and check out the whatever videos we have posted, and I lose track myself to some extent. Hope you enjoyed the let's see, what was the Ruger S-Far we posted this week, and some different things, some more stuff with the Davy Colts, and got lots of different things we're posting through the winter. Some things we've done in the bank that we did this summer, and I don't, as I've told you, I don't like to get out in January. I don't want to have to get out in January, February that many days and have to do a video if it's 20 degrees. Well, I don't have to do them anytime, but in order to have a video to post, and so I like to have a few videos in the bank so that I can just focus on when it's January, February, and we get a nice day, we do a video. But I want to focus on looking for a nice day, a nice enough day to do the Sunday video, to get out and shoot, just bring out something I want to shoot. And because I shoot year round, and I know there's got to be one day in that week, even in January and February, that the weather is at least not horrible. I can get out and enjoy a firearm like this Glock 23, right? So Yeah, nice gun. By the way, this is the pistol that, what was his name? And Justified, y'all see the series Justified? Oh, I'm trying to tip my tongue. It just came to me. But I thought about going back and watch that whole series. That was pretty well done. So, yep, Glock 23. Pretty cool. Glock 40, hard to beat. Don't you blow away, target. I'll shoot you again. So, see y'all next week, okay? Come out. Don't forget to come out on Sunday and see what the heck I'm blabbering about that is totally meaningless, right? Life is good.